Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Movements. I invite everyone to make their way onto their mat and begin in a comfortable Sukhasana, cross-legged seated posture, with their tailbone rooted, lengthy spine, shoulders drawn away from the ears, and knees cascading towards the earth. Begin to dial in your breath. And gently rub your index finger and middle finger together with your hands on your knees in Samdi. Slowly scan your body from left to right, seeking out any imbalances, seeking out any tension, and target it and address it. At this moment, I invite you to set some intentions for today's practice. We all have our reasons for making our way onto the mat, and they might differ from others. You can also dedicate this practice to someone or something, or even your pet. And let's honor these dedications and intentions and keep them in the forefront of our mind as we proceed through the sequence. Take a deep inhale as you extend your arms above head. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. And after a nice deep inhale, let's have a collective Om from wherever you may be. But when you make this Om, let's start it with our mouth nice and wide, with a Ah turning into an O, and then vibrating out with a Deep inhale. Namaste and welcome to the movements. Place your hands on your left side. If you have a block, remove the block. And make your way onto all fours, bringing your knees underneath your hips. Stacking your shoulders over your elbows, elbows over your wrists. Fingers spread wide. Index fingers are pointed directly forward, parallel with each other and parallel with the outer edges of the mat. Tops of your feet are pressed against the floor, and your shoulders are drawn away from your ears. Navel pressed against the spine, tailbone tucked underneath. Micro bend in the elbows, and the eyes of the elbows are pointed forward. On an inhale, drop the belly, raise the gaze forward and let your tailbone shine for a happy cow. Exhale, press against the mat, round the spine. And shift your gaze over to your navel. For an angry cat. Inhale, drop the belly, raise the gaze, back into a cow. Exhale, angry cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale back into a tabletop and move your torso in a cylindrical motion, like a marble in a Coca-Cola can. Warming up the spine. Pause at the top. Go in the other direction. Make your way back into tabletop, and on an inhale, extend your left arm forward and your right leg back, keeping the right foot flexed. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, compress. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, extend the right arm forward and the left leg back, maintaining that left foot flex. Exhale, compress, and bring that right elbow to meet the left knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, compress. Inhale, extend. Exhale, back into tabletop. Inhale, one more cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, back into tabletop. Exhale, drop the left shoulder to the mat and extend the left arm over to the right side. Shift your right hand forward to the right, top right corner of the mat, and gaze under your right armpit. Shift your right palm in front of your face. And press down to rise back up into a tabletop. Exhale, drop that right shoulder to the mat. Extend the right arm over to the left side. Shift your left palm over to the top left corner of the mat, and your gaze is under your left armpit. Shift the left palm back in front of your face and press down to rise back up into a tabletop. Exhale, shift your weight back onto your heels and make your way into a child's pose. Rest your forehead gently on the mat. Inhale, back up, curl your toes, and as you exhale, shift your hips up and back for the first downward facing dog of the day. It's okay to bend your knees here. Welcome to walk out the dog, extending the left leg and bending the right knee, and vice versa. Seeking out a lengthy spine here. Drive those heels towards the earth. And let the head hang like a mango. Slowly inch your hands back. Bend your knees, round your spine, and slowly articulate up vertebra by vertebra, rolling your shoulders back as you make your way towards the top. And take one step forward and feel that energy rise up, giving you power. And then another step for growth. Another step for love. Another step for unity. And a final step for peace. Establish Parabandha with your feet, with your big toes together and your heels slightly spread apart. Toes nice and soft, rooting down on the four corners of the feet. Option to have your feet at hip width distance with the outer edges of your feet parallel with the outer edges of your mat. Once you establish Parabandha, make your way into a mountain pose, powerful and tall. Shoulders drawn down away from the ears, chin parallel to the earth, palms facing forward, arms active, navel pressed against the spine, tailbone tucked underneath, micro bend in the knees with the legs active. Imagine your muscles aligning this bag of bones that we call a body. This is an alignment into anatomical position, Tadasana. Dial in that audible Ujjayi breath when you victoriously make your way into the posture. You exude exuberance through your breath. Inhale, extend the arms above head. Extended mountain pose, shoulders drawn down away from the ears. Exhale, hinging at the hips, swan dive forward. And let those arms hang like empty coat sleeves. Inhale, fingertips on the shins. Extend the arms and halfway lift. Drawing the shoulders down away from the ears, creating space and length in the neck. Exhale, drop the hands to the mat. Extend the left leg back and the right leg back. And make your way into a Palakasana, plank pose. Core tight, pressing the navel against the spine, tailbone tucked underneath, micro bend in the elbows. Ujjayi breath. On an exhale, bending at the elbows, lower yourself halfway down to a Chaturanga. Now lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Tops of the feet pressed against the mat. And inhale up into a baby cobra. Exhale. Drop the knees, curl the toes, and press the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath, lengthy spine. Inhale, extend the left leg and bring that left knee to your nose. Extend the left leg back. Bring that left foot between both hands. Drop the right heel so that the right toes are pointed towards the top right corner of the mat, keeping the hips neutral. Rise up into a warrior one. Left knee bent at 90 degrees. If you're having issues with the hip neutrality, place your hands on your hips and press the left hip back and the right hip forward. Exhale, hands on the mat. Step the left foot back and exhale. Down to a chaturanga. Inhale, roll over those toes to an upward facing dog. Avoid dumping in the lower back here. Avoid allowing the heels to splay. Knees are off the ground. Exhale, drop the knees. Curl the toes and press the hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, extend the right leg and bring that right knee to your nose. Extend it back and bring that right foot in between both hands. Lower the left heel. Left toes pointed towards the top left corner of the mat. With the right knee bent at 90 degrees. Rise up to a warrior one with both hips pointed forward. Exhale, hands on the mat. Step the right foot back and lower yourself halfway down to a chaturanga. Inhale, up into upward facing dog, rolling over those toes. And avoid dumping in that lower back here. Searching for an upper back bend. Exhale, drop the knees, curl the toes, hips go up, and then back for a downward facing dog. At the bottom of your next exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward and lightly step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, round your spine, and articulate up. Back into a mountain pose. Back into active alignment. Back to anatomical posture. Inhale. Extend the arms above head. Extended mountain pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Hands on the mat. This time, float back into a chaturanga, not into a plank. Inhale, roll over those toes. Upward facing dog. Exhale, drop the knees, curl the toes, and press your hips up and back for another downward facing dog. Inhale, extend the left leg and bring that left foot in between both hands. Drop the right heel so that the left heel is intersecting the sole of your right foot. Right toes are pointed towards the right side of the mat. Keeping a micro bend in the right knee. Rainbow the arms up into a warrior two. Arms extended alongside. Gazes over to your left middle finger. Left knee is bent at 90 degrees. Rooting down on the outer edge of your right foot and keeping the left toe soft. Strength and ease. Ujjayi breath. Exhale, lower that left elbow onto the left thigh and reach over the top of your body for a humble warrior. Gazes over to your right middle finger. Inhale, rainbow the arms back for a reverse warrior. Reaching over the top of your body with your left hand. Resting your right hand gently on your right hamstring. Micro bend on the right knee. Left knee's bent at 90 degrees. Inhale back up. Warrior two. Inhale, extend the left leg. Heel toe the right foot closer to the left, shortening the distance in between the feet. Preparing for a triangle pose, reach forward with your left hand. Let's reach back with your right hip. And drop that left hand to the left ankle. And extend that right hand up to the sky. Keeping your back on an imaginary plane. Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Back up. And place your hands on your hips. Rotate the right foot inward 90 degrees. Your feet are on train tracks. Hips pointed directly forward. Option to use your blocks for this pyramid pose. Hinging at the hips, fold forward, placing your hands on the blocks or on the mat. Micro bend in both knees. Shoulders are still drawn away from the ears. Always seeking that length in the neck. Inhale, rise up and step forward. Back to active alignment in that mountain pose. Inhale, extend the arms above head. Exhale, hinging at the hips, swan dive forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Seek out that micro bend in the upper back. Exhale, hands on the mat. Step the left foot back. Step the right foot back. Plank pose. Shift the weight onto your left arm. Stacking the feet or offsetting them. And extend the right arm up to the sky for a side plank. Option to place your left elbow on the mat. Exhale. Back into plank pose. Inhale, roll onto the right side of your body with the right hand on the mat and extend the left hand up to the sky for a side plank. Again, the option is always there to place the right elbow on the mat. Exhale. Back into plank pose. Audible breath. Exhale, bending at the elbows, lower yourself halfway down to Chaturanga. Inhale, roll over those toes. Upward facing dog. Tops of the feet are pressed against the mat. Avoid allowing those heels to splay. Exhale. Drop your knees to the ground, curl your toes, and press your hips up. And back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, extend the right leg and bring that right foot between both hands. Lower your left heel, right heel intersecting the left foot. Left toes pointed towards the left side of the mat. Inhale up into a warrior two. Rooting down on the outer edge of your left foot. Right knee's bent at 90 degrees. Arms are strong and soft. Extended alongside. Gazes over to your right middle finger. They call it a warrior pose because you're battling fatigue, you're battling the breath, but you're conquering all of that. Exhale, drop the right elbow to the right thigh, reach over the top of your body with your left hand, gaze shifting over to your left middle fingers in a humble warrior. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, rainbow back into a reverse warrior. Left hand on the left hamstring, reaching over the top of the body with the right hand. Gazes over to your right middle finger. Inhale, back up, warrior two. Inhale, extend the right leg, heel toe, the left foot closer to the right. Praying for triangle pose. Reach forward with your right hand and reach back with your right hip. Drop the right hand to the right ankle. Extend that left hand up to the sky. Triangle pose. Inhale. Rise back up. Place your hands on your hips and rotate the left foot inward 90 degrees. Feet are on train tracks, pointed forward, hips pointed forward, hinging at the hips, fold forward. Micro bend in both knees. Inhale, rise up and step forward. Back into active alignment, back into mountain pose. On an inhale, bend the knees, drop your bum, and raise your hands up to the sky for a chair pose. Bring your palms together and bring that right elbow outside the left knee and twisting chair pose to the left side. Avoid dumping in that right shoulder and bring the hands to the sternum, keeping both knees even. Exhale, release. Inhale, bring that left elbow over to the outside of the right thigh and twist over to the right side. Hands at heart center. Avoid dumping in that left shoulder. Exhale, release. Back into chair pose. And fold forward. Bend the knees around the spine and articulate back up to a mountain pose. Inhale. Extend the arms above head. Exhale. Hands together at heart center. Inhale, shifting your weight onto your left foot, allowing that right foot to levitate. Hinging at the hip, fold forward, keeping that right leg extended and that right foot flexed. Hips neutral. Warrior 3. Option to extend the arms above head. Exhale, lower the right toes down to the mat. And you're in a runner's lunge. Lower the knee halfway for a crescent pose. And avoid dumping in the lower back here. You want to keep your torso perpendicular to the earth. Exhale, lower the right palm to the mat. And extend that left hand up to the sky. Exhale, lower down. Lower that right knee down. Shift your weight back onto that right heel, extending your left leg. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, shift the weight back. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Raise the knee. Torso at 45 degrees, arms extended above head. Runner's lunge. Inhale, step forward. Back into a mountain pose. An extended mountain pose. Exhale. Hands together at heart center. Samastitihi. Shift your weight onto your right foot. The four corners of that right foot. Left foot is levitating. Hinging at the hips, folding forward. Left leg extended to the back. Warrior 3. Extend the arms above head. And exhale. Lower the left toes down to the mat for a runner's pose. Lower the left knee down halfway for a crescent pose. Exhale. Lower that left hand down to the left side of the right foot. And extend that right arm up to the sky. And avoid letting that right knee to splay. Exhale, lower both hands back down to the mat and lower the left knee to the mat. Shift your weight onto your left heel and extend that right leg. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, shift the weight back. Inhale, shift the weight forward. And raise that left knee. Making your way back into a runner's lunge with the arms extended above head. And inhale, step forward. into an extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Heel toe the feet outward so that your outer edges of your feet are parallel with the outer edges of your mat. And on an exhale, bending at the knees, lowering the bum, bring your elbows inside of your knees for Malasana pose. Heart is shining, toes are soft, shoulders are drawn down away from the ears. Lower your hands to the mat, roll onto your bum and onto your back. Taking a quick Shavasana to prepare for a dolphin pose. On an inhale, raise your legs up with your toes pointed and make a V with your body. Keep your lengthy spine for 5. Your toes are pointed for 4. Palms are facing the sky for 3. You're breathing for 2. You're smiling for 1. Exhale, release. Back down to the mat. Lower yourself down. Inhale, dolphin pose. For 5. Core. Working on that core for 4. Smiling for 3. Breathing for 2. Embracing the pain for 1. Exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, hug the knees into your chest, keeping the tailbone rooted. Exhale, release the knees, and drop the feet down underneath your knees with the heels near the bum. Tops of your feet are pressed, tops of your hands are preparing for a bridge pose. With the hips neutral and knees pointed directly forward. Press down on your feet. Raise your feet up. You raise your hips up. Bring your shoulders underneath your back. Interlace the fingers, rooting those arms from pinky to shoulder. Dropping your chin to your sternum. Bridge pose. Exhale, release the interlace. Raise the heels. Lower your back down to the mat, starting with the upper back, then the middle back, then the lower back. Inhale, bring your elbows inside of your knees. Grasp the outer edges of your feet. Blissful baby. Rooting down on that tailbone. Pressing your feet into your hands. Pulling on your feet with your hands for that yin-yang effect. Exhale, release the feet. Extend the legs. Extend the arms above head and make yourself as lengthy as possible. And then bring your arms alongside, palms facing forward. And just melt onto your mat for Shavasana. Normalize your breathing. Let your feet fall as they may. And embrace this conscious numbness. Relax that lower back. Relax those knees. Relax that face. There should be just a slight grin on your face. At this moment, remind yourself of your intentions and your dedication. And this is an internal question, but ask yourself, did I honor them? Did you remind yourself of your intentions and dedications throughout the practice? Imagine yourself as wax on a surfboard that's been left out in the hot sun on the beach. Right now your body's absorbing all the medicine you just provided it. The prana is flowing. Inhale the thighs up, left knees, and the knees are bent at 90 degrees. Extend the left arm above head and lower yourself onto the left side, resting your head gently on your left bicep. Right palm down in front of your face. Press down to rise up into a Sukhasana. I'm going to shift around for this part. How does this Sukhasana compare to the first one? Is it tighter or looser? Hopefully looser. Hopefully your hips are a bit more open and warmed up. Inhale, extend the arms above head. Exhale, bring the palms to heart center. And after a nice inhale, let's have a collective Om to truly activate that throat chakra. Thank you for letting me guide your practice today. It truly has been blessed. That concludes it. Cheers, guys.